Kartyayan, Senior Executive Director and Head of Operations Property Management at CBRE South Asia Private Limited. He heads the operations of a large team of professionals in the building and facility management arena. He is a postgraduate in mechanical engineering and has over 25 years experience in management of services in technology intensive environments. His areas of interest include maintenance management, corporate governance, strategic planning, and technology. Interventions in industry. Mr. Anish is a professional engineer, active member of ISHRE, a certified energy auditor, and an IGBC accredited professional. Mr. Anish will deliberate upon HVAC strategies for public spaces in the new normal. So, delegates, let's welcome Mr. Anish.
Great to be here, and these are interesting times for everybody. And as we're all returning to public spaces, and for us in the real estate sector, public spaces essentially means malls and maybe large eating out places or even commercial offices or the common areas. So as we come in, there is always a bit of a worry about is the place safe to go to or not. And that's where I think HVAC is going to play a major part because the ventilation, the air comfort, the thermal comfort are all going to be important. And that will give the confidence to the people who are going to use these public spaces. So I think it's very timely that Thermal Control, the magazine, has come up with this business update session. So I'm just going to share a bit of a background about what my firm does, not from a sales point of view, but just to share with you that we have a large amount of experience when we talk about this. So we're managing more than 350 million square feet, over 200,000 tons of air conditioning is managed by our teams, and there are over 300 buildings. So some of the aspects that I'm going to cover, I thought it's a very small session. So I thought I'll cover it in two sections. One is before people come, what all should building owners and people who are managing these public spaces, what should they focus on? And then once people start coming in, now we've got return to malls, everything is opening up quite a bit. How do you ensure that people are safe out there? So what is the strategy to use out there? And thanks to my earlier speakers, they have given a lot of data points. So I'm not going to talk about any data point in terms of all the ASHRAE standards or different touch points. I'm just trying to talk to you about what is our experience and what are a lot of developers and owners of these public spaces. What are we advising them and what are they also doing? I thought that's what I'll share with you because there would be some property managers and some developer teams here as well. So I thought that might be of interest to them. So coming first to basically pre-return strategy, that's what I would call it. So first and foremost is, especially in public spaces, you don't know how many people are really going to come back. While yes, we have seen occupancy increase, but it's not the way it was in 2019. So we are seeing in some places, some good malls or in buildings as well, the building occupancy is pretty low, but malls, you're seeing in some places, even 80% occupancy is back in some places. So it's very important for the HVAC O&M team to understand what is the footfall. Is it going to ramp up suddenly, so you have to prepare accordingly? Or are you going to see a gradual ramp up in about 1 or 2 months' time? It's not easy to predict, but that's one area that the HVAC team and the operational maintenance teams will have to look into. Another aspect is there are different requirements in each city because of the government guidelines, because of the COVID situation in each of the cities. So that again is very important when you're planning for the return to public spaces. I've seen this across many places. There's a new normal that we're all talking about, but it's actually something new. So how are we changing our procedures and processes? While yes, you have to still start the chiller, you have to have ventilation, all those things are there, but there will be a lot of changes that the operational maintenance team will have to do. Just for example, there are guidelines which say that instead of starting the air conditioning systems at normally 8 o'clock that you were doing earlier, you should start them at 6 o'clock, 2 hours before or maybe 2 hours afterwards, so that there's more circulation of air. Now, you can do it once or twice without having a formal procedure, but if it has to be a normal practice throughout, then you have to modify your procedures. So this is the time when you do all those changes in your procedures. One critical, I would say, aspect which has come in is that the staff who was there, who was running these systems, who were maintaining these systems, they have actually, some of them have gone back, some of them have found other jobs because that time the malls or the public spaces were not operational. So you will have less staff. They may not be trained as well, the people you hire. So there is that element of getting people ready to operate the systems effectively. So that is going to be very critical. And of course, safety is going to be paramount. So of course, basic safety aspects in terms of operations and maintenance, but more importantly, COVID safety, all those social distancing aspects will have to be done. And then comes the testing of systems. Because of the long layoff and the repeated lockdowns which have happened, we have seen that when we restarted buildings, unfortunately, there were some failures in the system. So maybe condenser tubes, they started leaking, or cooling towers, there were leakages from the cooling towers. Some pumps didn't operate effectively. So it's very important that you run the systems, you know that, okay, this is a go live date. So that is important. And of course, a backup plan in case something does fail. Then what's your strategy to, because in a routine course of people had backup plans, emergency response plans were there. But since there was a long layoff, what are the revised backup plans? This is something which the teams will have to work on. Now we come to the actual strategy to keep the occupants and people who are coming to these public spaces. So this could be hospitals, this could be your airports, this could be your malls that I'm talking about. It could even be gyms, for example, which are centrally air conditioned. First and foremost, I think it's there's a lot of talk about it, natural ventilation, fresh air use. It's easier said than done. A lot of systems are not designed to cater for the additional fresh air. Some systems, you don't know how much of fresh air is coming in because you know how the team, it was installed maybe 8 to 10 years back. So this is one area which the operation maintenance team will have to do. Ventilation rates again will have to be studied because the occupancy might be less. So you have to see, because there is one linkage between high velocity ventilation exits which are coming in from the ventilation ducts and transmissibility of the COVID virus. So that is something which will have to be done. Like I mentioned, operating schedules will have to be changed. That depending on the number of people who are going to be coming in, what are the timings for those people, all those points will have to be put in. And filtration systems, while not directly, I would say, it's been covered in the earlier sessions as well, but whatever best filtration system can be provided, should be provided. If it means an upgrade, then that definitely should be done to ensure the safety of the people who are coming back. There's one developer we work with. Their entire portfolio of about 35-40 million square feet, they've changed the entire filtrations. They moved from MERV 8 to MERV 13 across their portfolio. So that's the commitment they had for their occupants who are coming back. Our core job is O&M as well. So there is going to be a need for revising the O&M schedules. Earlier, if you were cleaning the filters maybe once in 2 weeks, you may have to do it once in a week, depending on the frequency and use. Similarly, maintenance of the equipment will have to be changed. But the biggest challenge which we have seen is that because there are a lot of new people coming in, there is going to be need for more supervision of these people so that the breakdowns are less and your equipments run the way they should be for a safe environment. Behavior will be very important. It's basically how the people who are coming into the mall, the social distancing and wearing masks and all those things are there. But as an operator of the public space, it's very important to communicate to them that this is a safe place. So this, I think, is going to be crucial to get people back, especially in offices. There's going to be a strong communication plan which occupiers will have to tell the people who are coming that when they come back, it is safe, it is hygienic, they've taken care of all the government guidelines, the WHO guidelines, and the people who are coming in the public spaces are not at risk when they're coming, or at least minimized risk that is there. cost is going to be a major factor, I feel, because there is pressure for anybody now, and a lot of us, I'm sure, are in the building operation space. The costs have this pressure to reduce costs, but at the same time, you have to change your filters, you have to increase the maintenance frequency. So these are two opposite requirements, and that's where the O&M team will have to really have a good operations strategy to keep the costs minimized and have a balance between the need for higher maintenance and, of course, to keep the cost low. But this is also a good time for occupiers and people who are running these systems to do retrofits of their legacy systems, improve efficiency wherever they can, because there is a lean period, and while still there are because of footfalls and the occupancy hasn't come to full, so there is still time for people to put that investment now, because we don't know how far this pandemic will last. If it goes off, it's great, but assuming that there is some time still, so that's, I think, one area where the developers can look at investing at this point in time in new technologies, both from the filtration point of view as well as the equipments which are being run. So in a nutshell, to summarize, I would say that the HVAC is an important factor in giving people the comfort to come back. The option of not having HVAC is not there. And there are ASHRAE as well as WHO studies and guidances which say that air conditioning and filtration helps in reducing the transmission. So that, I think, that question has been sorted out quite some time back, and HVAC will help people to come back. It's just that as operations and maintenance teams and as owners of buildings, we have to see that we have a proper strategy to get the systems running and operating effectively. So I will conclude with a very, very relevant quote by the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, that the future depends on what we do today. We are all in this together. We have come out and reached the stage very, very effectively. Just we have to maintain a bit more caution, both at a personal level and as an operator and a maintainer of HVAC systems, to see that we complete this journey. Thank you so much.